test. Yang say? Yeah. No, China. There's two office for Super Bonfire. There's one in Beijing, another one is in KL. Mm-hmm. Oh,
I mute on Google Meet, right? Okay. Okay. I'm on YouTube. I'm gonna wait for a bit until more people. Not so much though. Hold on. Okay. Okay. Oh, so we're live. Okay, so hi everyone. It's been a hot minute since we had like a sharing session in conjunction with Mapping from Home Malaysia, of course organized by Philemon and EDT, also co-organized by iNyala and Fabu.com. Interestingly, this event is inspired by an event in Indonesia, Mapping from Home Indonesia, Sembilan Matahari, which, by the way, we have the speaker with us right now tonight, and to talk with us and share with us some of the things. I hope everyone is doing well in this tough time. We're almost there. Numbers are going down in Malaysia at least. Before we actually start, I want to share a quote by Joe Crossley. He shared this in 2017, if I'm not mistaken. He said that projection mapping makes much more than just pretty lights, not just to change environment to make things go pretty and nice. It can be used for education and cultural communication even, because at that time he was telling stories of indigenous people from all over the world through projection mapping by mapping onto their traditional statue, sculpture, or anything that's available at that time, which is interesting because like I've always see projection mapping as something that in the future we could finally use for education, at least in schools, normal schools, public schools. So today we have Adi. Sorry, let me see. So today we have Adi from Sembilan Matahari. We have Syazwan from Super. I'm so sorry. Super Bonfire. Sorry, Syazwan from Super Bonfire. We also have Ando and Fizah from Machineast Singapore. I'm sorry, Machineast. Okay. So today, actually, with them, they're going to share about them and their company, their previous works, their projection mapping works, or any case studies that they have done before that could actually be related to what we're doing today. I have Shaki with me today, but he would be presenting with me because he's shy, but he's also going to speak a lot today after every other speaker. Could we have Syazwan first today? Yeah. Syazwan from Super Bonfire. Yeah, you can start present. Yeah.
Okay, welcome everyone to Malaysian Mapping from Home 2021. So I am Syazwan Nazaruddin from Super Bonfire. It's been a pleasure to be a part of this occasion where we can share our knowledge, our past experience on past project to the communities outside. So I'm gonna draw our intention to appreciate the organizer to inviting us to have this kind of opportunity. So for tonight's topic, I'm gonna break it down into 3 parts where we're gonna talk about who we are, who is the Super Bonfire, what we can do, and then the second part is gonna talk about our creative flow. And then the third part, we're gonna do some case studies, and I will break it down into bits to talk about a particular project. So without further ado, let's keep things going with our show reel. So hopefully you guys can have a glimpse of what we can do. So right now we're gonna explain about a brief explanation of about our background. In a nutshell, we consider ourselves as a digital content powerhouse, where we venture ourselves into mostly show event and also commercial. And recently we venture ourselves into virtual productions. And then our specialty is mostly based on creative and art direction, where we always up to date to latest technology advancement, so that we always able to utilize the latest technologies in order to for us to create interactive kind of visual that also going to produce immersive experience. So overall, what we having in our works, whatever we developing in our project, whether in the past or in the future, we always consider to have our production, our visual to be intuitive, where whatever we plan out, whatever we decided to choose the shapes of simple shapes like a square or a circle, they have a reason behind it. There's always purpose on it. On top of that, we always consider quality and a new idea in every single project that we produce. So this compilation of our past work. You can access most of our past work in Behance. You can search Super Bonfire, or you can go to our website www.superbonfire.com. So most of the project we done is translated into event show, commercial, and virtual productions.
Actually, that's very interesting. But I mean, what we saw from the show reel just now, that's pretty darn amazing. Actually, it's those are all big scale projects and all. What about? Do you mind if I ask if you have done like personal projects, or how do you actually get started into this industry? Like, what do you start off as, or what drives you to be in this industry?
Okay, I started if you want you ask that kind of a personal question, I always think I start back in during my studies where I learned about advertising, and then slowly from there, after I graduated, I kind of into this kind of work visual where we create more immersive, more interactive, that not just for the pure visual production, but also playing with the messaging or the brand that we dealing with. For example, if we have Mercedes, BMW, Volkswagen, or whatever, we need to understand this brand and find the right message for the audience as well. So it's kind of two ways of communication, not just on one behalf that have the benefits, but for the both side as well. So I venture into China. I have the experience. Is the opportunity came in from friends over there. So we kind of work together, and then this company is actually established back in 2017, and we have since our launch the first year. Even in the first year, we have already launched a significant numbers of big profile clients such as Mercedes, BMW, Volkswagen, Audi, and so on. So you can see in our clientele right now is mostly from automotive industry, but that's only true for first 2 years at least of Super Bonfire establishment. But after that, later on, we try to be daring to go beyond that. We try to jump in to penetrate other industry as well, and we got into smartphone industry where we got TCL, we got Oppo and Huawei, and then as well as the gaming industry with Tencent. So when we're dealing with big market like China, they always kind of mega structure of launching for their product. There's always like kind of blockbuster for event show, because they have a lot of markets, they have a lot of financial to support that kind of event. So it's a good experience to have that kind of get involved in that kind of project.
I see.
Yeah. So I think on the first 2 years we actually based on China, and then on the third year, we having our office in Kuala Lumpur in Damansara. So basically, most of the project is not just coming from China, but also from other places as well, like Germany and US.
Have there been ever like Malaysian brands using your services? Malaysian based, or the event is held in Malaysia?
There's a couple of it. I can highlighting YOLO. There's
okay.
YOLO. If you remember, I think 2 years ago, where we having this kind of visual playing on their billboard screen on their building. If you know, YOLO Hotel is a vertical screens that are very big. So we have a visual playing over there during a New Year celebration on the eve of New Year.
I see.
But right now, our focus also
look that
just
up.
try to explore ourselves in Malaysia as well. But more importantly, we need to keep.
I mean, because Malaysia is still quite new in this.
Yeah, but yeah, we kind of interested also to introduce this kind of idea in Malaysia landscape. So that
because since, like I said just now, Malaysia is quite new in this industry still. Like, we don't have that much agencies or people who actually does this kind of things for brands in Malaysia. There are, but very few.
Actually, very few that willing to do that, and then also depends on the client as well, because we still try to find the right client for that daring to do this kind of stuff with their brand. Okay. I think that is the end of my presentation about a brief explanation about our background.
Okay, we can go on to the next one.
Okay, now we come to the point where I'm gonna share some knowledge regarding our creative workflow, how we came up with visual that is not just pure art, pure visual. It's about firing the eyes, but also have the storyline, have the message that also reflects the brand, especially the brand, because we're dealing with big clients that already established, that has their own authenticity on what their brands are. So we need to consider all of that as a top priorities in whatever visual or content that we're gonna develop in each of the project. So right here we have a little triangle. I call it a golden triangle. In this golden triangle, there's three essence of it. The first one is brand ethos, and then second one is the medium, and then the third one is creative direction. So each one of these is linked together. It has a connection to each other. It's never once that we disintegrated each one of them from each other. So the first one, we have the brand ethos, where we have to understand about their traits, about what is the brand all about, what is their characteristic, what is their mission, what is their vision, what kind of audience that they are having, and kind of understand and explore the connection between the brand and the audience. So that's the key in every project that we are having. So whatever we are developing is kind of relevant to the brand itself and always reflecting the brand. And then we can go to the medium, whether the medium can be like a platform or an outlets for our visual to be played. For example, we can have like as simple as a flat screen on our hands or in the living room. And most of in our case, it's a event show, and to deal with a lot of different kind of setup. Most of it is kind of mega structure where we have a lot of LED that can go to 140-meter wide. So we need to understand also the technology that involved on the stage setup, whether it's gonna involve any installation or kinetic balls or any other things that we can utilize to play in the show, and to understand the integration of the things that keep things together, not just like playing LED have their own visual, the kinetic have their own movement. Is always not going to be like that. So we need to understand the medium of our certain project, and then when we understand these two parts, brand ethos and the medium, and then we can use that kind of information to lead ourselves into creative direction. What is the concept? What is the creative concept? What is the style frame? It's gonna looks like, how we're gonna play with the brand essence, and then reflect in our visual, and then how that visual gonna see on the medium, and what kind of stuff that we can play with, and really utilize it all the setup at its full potential. So basically, this is our blueprint in creating a good visual for our clients. And then the next one, I'm going to talk about, I just want to touch base about our workflow. Usually we're going to get a brief. So once we got the brief or we have some pitching invitation, we have to play with the team delegation. Who is going to be the art writer, who's going to be the creative writer, who's going to produce the style frame, and then we're gonna do some production plan, and then this production plan can be in pre-production as well. So in the pre-production, there's the stage that we develop the creative concept, and then we have the mood board, style frame development, and then there's a lot of R&D going on during this stage in order for us to be ready for the later stage, because the later stage is going to be nice for us. Most of the time, for most of the big scale project that we are having, it's not going to be like 2-3 months that kind of long. Usually we gonna have like 2 weeks. That one is usually the max one that usually, yeah, that's usually gonna happen. So we have to really ready whatever we need to prep first, like a pre-assets or pre-elements that could help for production. So whatever planning that need to be done has to be done in the style frame, so we know what kind of elements need to be put on, so we can prep later on for production. And then under this stage also we have stage design and animatics. These all the things that need to be locked down before production, so we have the clear idea during the production. So in the production stage, we have a lot of stuff actually. Other than this, it could be endless. So I just list out a couple of it: modeling, animation, rendering, compositing, audio, and we always have a test run on, especially on the event show, because when we talk about a big scale of project, when we have a lot of things to play with, we always need to test run with the motion, the speed, the size of the visual. Is it gonna be able for the audience to understand? Is it gonna be looks messy or whatever? So we need to control this kind of thing. We need to test this kind of thing so we can foresee the problems and try to counter and solve the problem before the server input. Because once the server input is done, it's gonna be impossible for us to to change any output, because most of the project files that output and put into the server is going to be very huge size file. So we need to consider the timing of transferring the project file into the server. So usually at least we're giving it like 1 day for it to transfer. Most of the files can be ridiculously huge, usually 100 gigs and above. And then after the server input, we just go to the show time. It's where the real show is going on. And then we do some post-productions where we do 4 project files backup and coverage edit for the sake of to updating our portfolio for to present for our new clients or to showcase to the community. So this is all about it, about the stages of our pipeline, about our workflow in building certain kind of project. So it is important that we have the blueprint that we're having here and the workflow that we're having here in order for us to be organized and also be flexible whenever we need another collaboration to produce our stuff, or we need new people to come in to join us, or we need to collaborate with the agency in order to get the visual right and for them to understand our workflow. So it's important to keep organized along the way so we don't have to deal with unnecessary problem during the project. So that's about the second part. So for the third part of the presentation, I'm gonna show you guys a couple of selected project that we're having in our Behance. You guys can check it out in our Behance. You can just search Super Bonfire and you can find the profile there. Right here we have a tons of past project, but I believe that's not including a couple of latest project that we're having in 2020. But I gonna pick maybe 2 or 3 project if we got time. The first one is gonna be Audi A8L launched back in 2018. This is kind of my first, I think, second experience to do this kind of project in China. So this is what it looks like during pre-production or during brief, where we got some pre-rendered structure design plan where we have to understand the event flow. If you can see most of the event flow, we need to understand the structure of it, where the audience came in, which is at the entrance here, and then it goes to the mingle area, and then there's a hall here. They're gonna play a lot of contents there. They're gonna put a lot of screen there that we can play the visual that suitable for the event itself, whether it's gonna showcase the products or the brand itself or the messaging or ambience, so that the audience is gonna feel the vibe over there. So this kind of thing is set up during pre-production. So we have a couple of rendering pre-visual for the interior. So during this stage we kind of set the mood of it, what it's gonna look like, and then on the exterior of the buildings, you're gonna feel the vibe of it. And then I think when I still new to this kind of thing, I also surprised the facts that they're building this kind of thing for 2-3 weeks to building this kind of structure this big, could be like 800 meters long. just for the 3 weeks, and then after that they dismantle soon after the event is finished. So regarding the event setup, this is the most interesting part. This is the major platform that we're gonna have our event show here, where we do the launch event. We do some demonstration of the A8L technology. So the first, there's a lot of stuff going on here. The first one is our curve screen, LED screen, and then also we playing with matrix kinetic balls that we can control the position of it, so we can have the flexibility to create a shapes, and also can illuminate the ball, each one of the kinetics ball. And then also we also have visual on the floor with the projection mapping. And then when we doing projection mapping back in 2018, there's not a lot of people doing projection mapping that playing with installation like kinetic balls or any kind of movable object, because there's a problem when you have a movable object on your scene, especially for the projection mapping, because when the projection gonna project it, the visual is gonna always overlap that kinetic balls or installation on the scene, and it's gonna have a shadow. The shadow is gonna affect overall looks of our visual. So we kind of foresee this kind of things, and we sort it out and try to minimize the problem, and it turned out to be perfect on the project during the show. And then regarding the physical car on the floor that driving across the floor, also we kind of manage to create the shadow to have more natural, more soft shadow that we can see in our real world. So the visual on the floor and the physical car kind of blend together. So it's some of samples of shape that we had during the event, that we create, kind of control each one of the kinetic balls into a couple of shapes. So the way that we control the balls is by using a grayscale map, where the white one is going to be going to the lowest part of its position, and the black one is going to be the highest to its origin height, to origin position. So during our preparation, we came up with a lot of style frame that's suitable for the brands, and as well as the messaging of the event. During that time, they wanted to showcase their technologies for A8L. So we can develop style frame based on more like technology kind of look on it, where it can demonstrate any kind of technology that embedded in the A8L back in 2018. For example, we have a laser radar over here. So we can do demonstration of how it works in our visual and our storyline in our creative concept. So while we have to understand the reason why we have to understand the medium is because of we need to create not just a flat projection on the floor. We need to create more depth on it. So that's the one of the reason why we need to understand the medium of our projection setup, where we can implement the depth, where we can implement the visual of 3D space, that we can have the physical, the real floor on it, and then there's a hole in the middle on it, and then we can see underneath it is a 3D map. So it's gonna create a depth on our visual and our show. But most importantly, is about integration of every single part of installation that we're having on our setup. So how it integrated, how it interact between each other. For example, for this shape of kinetic balls forming some kind of tornado that interact the visual on the floor. So we kind of playing with this kind of thing a lot during the show. So right now I'm gonna show you guys some of the visual, some of the animation that we recorded back in our show. Apologize, I'm gonna speed up into some of the parts. I'm not gonna play it fully. I just want to highlight a couple section of the video to show how we utilize the technology and installation in our setup. So you can see over here, there's a action point where we have the kinetic balls have their lighting and connect with the LED and the floor to have the ball going down there. And also it works as a continuity for the flash visual in the LED.
Mm.
So right here, we always consider the depth of our visual, not just the flat.
Yes.
I think that's all about it, about AAL. Sarah, you have any question?
Actually, I'm amazed because I'm watching this video still through
Okay,
YouTube.
that's great.
Pretty impressive. I mean, impressive stuff comes with impressive price, of course, since it's a commercial work. But that looks really, really amazing. It's like a whole another level for me. I do have one question
Okay.
though. Since because that is a brand from it's Audi. Of course, it's not a local region brand. I was thinking, do you see brands in Southeast Asia using this kind of method in marketing their brands more? Like in the future, at least say that we're no longer in COVID situation, because right now you don't really foresee brands. Yeah, do you see it happening in the future? Like, because right now it's probably very, very slow for us.
I think it depends on the client itself. Depend on the clients, whether they are willing to invest this kind of things, because it involve financial, it involve their reputation as well. And then there's a lot going on. It's about deadline when it's launched, whether they have a lot of the right people to work on it. that kind of stuff. There's a lot of things that we really cannot control on our side, but we try to find the right client in Malaysia as well, and others region in Southeast Asia.
Okay. Interesting. I think we're gonna have to move on to our next speaker. Thank you so much, Syazwan, for sharing with us all these passwords. It's truly amazing. I mean, I guess now if any Malaysian brands are watching, you know who to go to. Syazwan. I'm just kidding. Super Bonfire. Okay. Yeah, just go to Super Bonfire. They know how to do it. Okay. Thank you, Syazwan. So everyone, Syazwan can turn off camera. Okay, thank you everyone for that was Syazwan from Super Bonfire. Our next speaker is already here. This is Ando and Fizah from Singapore. Say hi, guys. You're muted.
Hi. Hello.
Hi. Hello. So how are you guys tonight?
Good.
What do you think of Syazwan's sharing?
It's crazy. I mean, it's
awesome.
Super Bonfire always great on creating all those project mappings. We're always impressed by their their jobs. It's really impressive.
Okay, so I guess we can start off with you. You can start introducing yourself. Yeah, your company.
I think Syazwan's
still on the Discord.
The Discord.
Hold on. Yeah, I think his mic's still on. But I guess it's fine. All right. Hi guys. My name is Ando. This is Fizah. So we're gonna share our slides now. Give us a second. Let me share ours. Which one is it? All right. Cool.
Okay, hello, everyone. I hope you all had your dinner already. I don't know about Sarah. Yeah, we had ours.
I've had my dinner. Don't worry.
Great. Okay, let us present our what we do. So my name is Fizah.
And my name is Ando. Hi.
And together we are a 3D creative duo called Machineast. We were actually established in Singapore back in 2016. And this is the kind of work that we do. We mostly do specialize in 3D design, motion graphics, and visual art. Like our work cross between commercial as well as art. So we have the art side and we also have the commercial side. So sometimes our client come to us because of our art stuff, and then they ask us to provide similar kind of approach to their brand. So it's more like a collaboration kind of thing. So basically, both of us, we've been doing motion graphics since 2006, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's been like over 2 decades of experience combined for both of us. And I hope it doesn't give away my age. So yeah, next, let me show you our selected work. Like we have a lot of projects that we can't show because of NDA. So we're gonna show you like the ones that we can. Yeah, so this is the project that we've done with Iris Singapore. We produced this for Marina Bay Sands Christmas theme. So what it is they wanted something to promote their Christmas Comes Alive, and they wanted a 3D key visual rendered in a very charming style and like modern, I guess. So they approached us for this, and then we designed from the typography as well as the key visual and everything. And here is another one that we did for Marina Bay Sands. This is focusing on more about food and beverages. And also this one is for cinema and also performances. So you have like all the elements, like all the cinema elements. Yeah. And then next project, we also have a rep in France and London. So Palma is our rep there. So this is a collaboration with them for Brieux Grenelle Mall in Paris. So they wanted to have a typography for spring campaign, which is like full of colors. And then they come to us because our work is mostly very colorful. And they were like, hey, we wanted to do something with this color addict theme, and we would like you to design something that's interesting for us to put on our mall posters and everything, like huge billboards. So this is what we've done for them. And before COVID, one of our client is Changi Christmas campaign. So before this, they always like to do mostly about like to promote like shopping in Changi Airport. Yeah, so this is like promoting shopping in Changi with showcasing some of their local products as well, like the salted egg salmon skin, which is like my favorite.
Mine too. I always buy it whenever I'm there.
Yeah, I love it so much. Okay, I gotta stop eating it because it's not good. But like after this to jaga badan. So anyway, so this is like one of the things that they printed. So most of our stuff is kind of like to be like very fresh, I guess, like in terms of our style. So besides commercial work, we also do art side. So this is like a personal project where we imagine if Darth Vader commissioned us to do a poster for their recruitment. So like Job Street. What if like the Death Star has like a Job Street poster?
Yeah.
So this is what we did. It's just for fun.
It's just for fun.
Yeah.
Because we think exploring personal art style, you can only do it with with your own personal project. So this is something that we do always between our commercial jobs.
Yeah. So then we also do other personal projects like dreamscapes kind of thing, because since we can't travel out now, we feel like we're kind of inspired by all our past trips, all our childhood, and like try to recreate it in our own 3D world. So this is one of it. And also, like this is based on like our trip in Naoshima Island. So James Turrell work as well as like Teshima Island, and overall it's really amazing.
Yeah, we like to try to feed ourselves with a lot of art inspirations, just to give some inspiration and ideas to push ourselves as an artist and designer too. So
yeah. So we also did like some more abstract pieces. Actually, there's for me, because I'm a designer first. So when we do abstract, it's more like, how do you make less is more? It's actually harder than when we do commercial work sometimes. So it's just more of like challenging our own self. Yeah. And we also participate like not every year, but we try to on like 36 days of type. So we do a lot of exploration on doing A to Z as well, the numbers. So this is just for fun as well. Like we also very passionate with typography and lettering design. So so this is one of it. And this is the recent one that we've done for 2020 edition. So.
36 Days of Type is basically an annual Instagram design event. I'm pretty sure some of the designers out there familiar about this event. So where every day you could do a design and post every single letter and numbers every day. So that way you are challenging yourself, and with such a limited time and executions to produce an artwork. So I think it's a good way to challenge ourselves as well.
Yeah. So
since it's a personal project, doesn't it give you a sense of deadline? Because you have 36 days to do 36 things.
Yes.
Which is good.
Since it's between your commercial works.
Working under pressure, I think sometimes it works the best.
Yeah, we like
true.
We like to do that also. I think as a designer, if you work under pressure, maybe you can come up with something great,
something that you never thought of.
That's very true. Like, impromptu stuff sometimes works better than things that you have been planning for like so long.
Yeah. So we like to do that. And recently we actually did something for Singapore Art Week. Even though we're here, and then we did this for Singapore Art Week. So this is actually our first ever Spark AR project that we've done. It was quite a learning curve because coming from we do mostly motion graphics, 3D design, but then this time it's like AR. So we took the opportunity to take this project because we wanted to learn So kind of like some of the projects that we take on is because we want to learn something new. And by taking on a project, you kind of force yourself to learn something, you know, instead of just like, I want to learn.
It's challenging,
Yeah,
but it's fun.
but it's like you must do it, you know. So it was quite fun, and we designed this character called Rafflesia. So Rafflesia is actually a mutated version of Rafflesia flower, where because of the forest fires, he grew legs and like looked like a cat, so he can move around and run from the fire. So that's the whole concept.
That's cute.
So yeah, this is like some of the exploration of the dynamics of the petal physics of Rafflesia. Yeah, so we like cats, so we designed him kind of look a bit like cat, but and mix it with flowers.
Gotta make it cute, you know. Alright.
That's cute. He's cute. He looks like he could be a real cartoon character in a series or something.
Yeah. So this one we were approached by actually Alvin Tan from Funk Studio. So he asked us to be one of the 5 I think artists to showcase the AR creators in Gilman Barracks. So these here are like some of the tests that we did and some of the people that posted the creators on social media. Since we can't fly to Singapore to see it, we can see it on.
You can see it through social media, Instagram stories. It really feels rewarding seeing your work, you know, at the other side of the country, and they tag us, and even though we are not there, so yeah, you know, that's the best part of technology now.
That's the cool thing about AR.
All right, so I'm going to take over now. So let's talk about, now that you've seen our portfolio in the past, and I'm going to talk about the projection project that we've done in the past, you know, so especially it was done in 2018, and it's called Light Tonight Festival. So let me brief you a little bit about what Light Tonight is. Probably some of you have heard about it. So in late 2017, we were approached by curators from Singapore, Brandon Tay and Safwan Johari. So they are part of the Singapore Art Week 2018, which was commissioned by National Gallery Singapore. So it was our first experience working on projection mapping, and we both agreed to be part of it, and it looks like a fun project. You know, so we always try something new, so why not? Let's go. You know, so this kind of project mapping is actually based on visual art. So nothing commercial about it. You know, it's everything is about expressing about visual arts. Okay. So yeah, the theme was color sensations. So right from the bat, we thought, you know, this is something colorful. So Light Tonight is an annual urban event that celebrates stunning civic district of Singapore with sensation of colors and transform major cultural institution and parks into a work of art. So we were one of the 30 artists invited to contribute an artwork and distribute it to 4 facades. Now, these are the facades that we need to work on. You know, the art house, the Victoria Concert Hall, former Supreme Court, Asian Civilizations Museum. But for us, we'll be working on, you know, the arts house, particularly the frontal part of this building. So the idea, again, we have to come up with an idea, right? So the concept was color sensations. So we discussed together with Fizah. I discussed with Fizah, sorry. And then together we decided to relive the classic 80s toys that we used to play when we were kids. Because why toys? Because, you know, toys was when we were kids, toys were a lot of full of colors, and we want to show nostalgic, colorful feeling when we were when people are seeing our visuals. You know, try to keep it simple, colorful, and people understand it. You know. So these are the references and the ideas. So the first idea is to show classic transparent toys with colorful shades. Something that you've seen on those PlayStation controller, you know, like sometimes Nintendo 64 has transparent controller as well. And even the phone that you see at the middle here, a lot of intricate mechanism, and yet at the same time is colorful, you know, so everything that has to be colorful and made for kids. And then the second idea is to show Waterfall ring toss. I'm pretty sure you've seen this these toys before, especially if you were born in the 80s. It was a puzzle game, seems simple, but it was yeah, exactly. It seems simple, but it was results in hours of entertainment. You know, so they float around, they bounce each other, but then at the same time, we want to make it look unique with colorful, iridescent, various color of spectrum, something that you see on the right side of this slide. So we want to combine all these ideas the the transparent acrylic mechanism and this waterfall ring toss. So we proposed to the ideas to our curators, National Art Gallery in Singapore, and they like it. Okay, let's go. Now move on to the concept and style frames. So what is style frames? Style frames is to show our proof of concept visually so our client will understand our ideas before we start animating them. Okay. So this is our first idea. Remember the building that we've shown you guys earlier, the arts house? So this style frame is for the first idea, which is based on transparent acrylic. So we want to show, we have enough details on the mechanism, but at the same time, we want to show it looks like a toy at the same time. So you could see all the details, but like those pipes, the gears moving around in that on that building later on. And then the second idea is to show the water ring toss idea. So we see all these bubbles, floating bubbles, rings, colorful iridescent varies in color spectrum. So these elements will be floating around and bouncing each other. So we have to make sure control the physics of the 3D later on in which I will show you guys later on. So those small items that filling, must have, you must see all those small gaps in between the pillars. They try to squeeze in as well. So all those kind of details. So to show you the bigger idea, this is the timing of the sequence. So we start from this yellow building. I will explain to you why it has yellow. So yellow building, and then goes to the first scene where we see the toys moving around, and then the second part, the bubbles moving around, and then goes to the orange building. So this whole sequence will be done in 60 seconds. And why yellow and orange? That's just how the curator the curator appointed us. Basically, our work will be between these two colors because different artists will be assigned to different colors too. So
yeah, so he wanted to have a seamless transition between all the artists.
Yeah, so there will be smooth transitions between one scene to another scene. So I hope you get the idea here. So now let's have a look at the projection, animation, and the process. Let me share you our screen. Give me a second. This one, movies and TV. Yeah, okay. Live. Oops. Sorry. All right. Do you guys see it?
No.
No.
No. I think you can change it.
Change window. Hang on.
But I really want to see it now. I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay. hang on. Change window. Give me a second.
Yeah,
Color sensation. Yeah, correct.
Is the screen, your Discord screen, is it sharing that window?
Mhm.
Like if you press screen, you can see what window is it sharing.
Yeah, I am sharing it right now. Hang on. Let me share my my desktop here so you could.
Sure.
Yeah. Change window. Change. Hang on, then. This is the screen.
Oh no, we've lost your camera as well.
Yeah, don't worry.
We lost your camera as well. Yeah, we do see it now.
Do you see it? Do you see it?
Yeah. Yes.
Do you see it? Okay, great.
Yes.
Sorry about that. So yeah, let me restart this. Okay, so we start from you are seeing the screen on the left and the top right. That's just from the handheld camera. Sorry for the one on you see on the bottom right. That's the direct 3D render that we provide to our curators. So yeah, you kind of get an idea how this whole animation works. It fits nicely to the building, and yeah, it's we see all the details of the building. It's the gears is moving around, the balls is going up and down, and then the transition goes to the next shots here, where we see the balls are bouncing each other, and they are like trying to fill the gap and trying to fill the entire part of the building here. So yeah, we kind of really had fun about this project, and it was quite rewarding too when we finally see it on the actual real building there.
Question.
So, yeah.
I'm really intrigued by the balloon animation actually.
Animation.
I was wondering how long it took for you to actually animate that, because that looks like a lot of hours going into.
Well, I'm gonna show you how it's done in Cinema 4D. Just just an idea here. So let's see. Yeah, hang on for a while. There you go. So again, this is how we nothing too special, nothing too detailed. You know, we don't use Houdini, and everything is just done in Cinema 4D with Octane, and we just want to make sure that the aesthetic look of the toy matches to the actual building. And the rest of it is just, you know, place the right lighting and then the right shaders, the right material. And yeah, we got the measurement of the building from the curator, so all we had to do is just follow the right positioning of the, you know, the window where the gear's at. And later you will see, okay, this is the part for the bubbles part. Yeah, the floating bubbles. So basically, we built a container of the house. So it tried to trap this whole bubbles and balls around. And we use, if you notice on the layer on the Cinema 4D on the top right, you could see there's an attractor that attract all these balls. So that's why they're moving from left to right. Oh,
I
sorry.
see.
they're moving. They're trying to move left to right, and we see physics, animations, and gravity, and yeah, try to mimic the animation of the feeling of floating in water. Cool. Let me go back to our
Yeah.
slide here.
I asked that because actually right now I'm in the animation industry. So like me watching that, I was like, oh, that's gonna take a lot of hours to actually animate one by one. So the kind of relief I had when you said, oh, you had like an attraction around to actually play with physics.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
Use dynamics in Cinema 4D, so you don't have to animate it one by one. Yeah.
So
yeah.
So it's a simulation
Okay.
anyway. So yeah. Do you see our screen now?
No, it's gray.
No? Okay, never mind.
Yes.
Hang on here. Let's change screen. Change window again. On the. Do you see it? Do you see it? No?
Good, Samson? Good?
I could.
Okay, let's continue.
Is it on? All right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So, okay, so I'm gonna talk the second part of this event. So that was the first part of this event. So we had to do the art animation. So the second part is we also have to provide a different projection mapping that serves to show portraits of performers from the past from a specific building in Singapore. So this approach is to create an animated portraits of the facade base of the history of the building. And this is mainly to show storytelling projection mapping that was prepared by the curators. So basically, all we had to do is just to animate based on their content. So this is the building that we have to work on, the Victoria Concert Hall. So the kind of okay, basically we have to tell about this slightly about the history about this building. Just a quick recap about the history of the building. Victoria Hall has been served as a venue for public meetings, dances, and other social functions such as ballroom dance, librarian, comic opera performers, nurses in World War II, lawyer, and currently serves as Singapore Symphony Opera. So for this particular projection, we have to work together with Singapore artist Eric Fernandez. So basically, he does illustration, branding, mural, and art direction. So he illustrated the human portraits, and we create the 3D elements and animations of the mapping. So these are the style frames that we came up with. So as you can see here, the cloths for the ballroom dancers, and books for librarian. It's quite simple and easy to understand and direct as well. Stage curtains for comic opera performances, flipping books to show, flipping books or documents to show lawyer, bandages for nurses, and musical notes for Singapore Symphony Opera because, they play music, right?
For us, it's like the challenge for this is because the building shape is like, there's very narrow.
Yeah.
So a lot of our designs, actually, we have to put the elements towards the bottom of the building instead of at the top. And Eric's work is at the top to showcase the characters.
The characters,
the portraits.
Yeah. So there are some texts on each portraits to tell a brief story for audience when they are seeing the projection. So the direction is pretty straightforward here. So again, we show to our style frames to our curators and National Art Gallery, and yes, it was approved. And yeah, next, moving on to the animations. So I'm gonna switch my screen again. This is the last video. Okay, the last video, guys. I promise you. Let me show you. Change window. Where is it? All right. Do you guys see it? Do you guys see the screen? Just to double check. No. You can see it.
We can.
Okay. Cool. So yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't have. We didn't have our own footage, so we're glad somebody, a YouTuber from, somebody recorded our whole sequence, Dexter C here. So I'm gonna give credit to him. So yeah, that's on the right side. You could see the animations. Okay, these animations, just to take note, it has been sped up by 50% because the whole sequence takes quite long. It was 2 minutes sequence, so I have to speed it up just to show you, how it goes. So it might look a little bit faster right now. So yeah, you can see the nurse and the ribbon goes in. It's the tricky part here because of the building where you could see the clock, because the clock was not in the 3D, and it looks it's a black clock, so you can't really see the light from the projection. So anything that is against the clock you can't really see it right now. You can't really see the face of the conductor, so. But apart from that, we really enjoy the whole process, and we kind of see, it's seeing our animations and being projected on a huge building. It feels really rewarding, So yeah, and that's how it goes. So okay, let me go back to the slides. Right. So that's the end of our project. And do you guys see our screen now?
Yes.
Okay, great.
So it's just thank you for having us.
Yeah.
And we actually look forward to
thanks
seeing everybody's work.
Thanks Malaysia Mapping from home for having us this sharing sessions, and everyone who's watching this online. Thank you for your time, and I hope you guys enjoy our presentations. And if you want to know more about us, you can simply follow on our social media there. You can hit us DM or like us, anything, whatever. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Thank you actually for sharing everything. I wanted to ask in the beginning, from when you shared your portfolios from client of Changi airports, the first one, what was it? Your client,
Marina
one that you did typography, Marina Bay Sands. I was wondering, because it's a client work, how do you actually did they approach you or you approach them? How do you actually get them to? Was the concept from you or from them? You just came up with the visual of it.
So usually how it is, most of the time our projects is the client would approach us to do projects. So it depends. We can do either from the concept and ideation, or we can help execute, or the client's concept. Like this Marina Bay Sands case is the agency that approached us already have their own idea about the project. So but they needed somebody to help executing
the 3D.
Yeah, because they also don't know how to visualize the typography or how to visualize the key visual that will suit their concept. So yeah, that's where we come in.
I see, that's interesting. Aside from all the NDA stuff, are you working on anything right now? You don't have to mention the private ones. Like right now.
Yes, we are actually working on something that is also under NDA, which we cannot say anything and we cannot show it also. From the recent years, I think since 2019, we have done a lot of projects that is heavy NDA that we cannot even post. So it seems like we have nothing except our personal projects. It's fine.
We like to explore, personal stuff, personal projects too.
So I guess everyone can keep up with your personal stuff on your social medias as well, right? Yeah. Okay. So everyone, don't forget to follow, and just follow them. So I already followed you guys. Okay. So thank you so much for sharing. That was really interesting and fun actually to watch. I think we can move on to our next speaker, Adi from Sembilan Matahari. Thank you, everyone. Thank you,
Okay,
guys.
bye.
So our next speaker is Adi from Sembilan Matahari. Fun fact, because since this event itself is inspired by mapping from home from Indonesia, we invited Adi from Indonesia, the one. Can I say you're the mastermind of? Can I say you're the mastermind of mapping from home in Indonesia?
Yeah, I'm wearing the t-shirt from Mapping from Home Indonesia right here.
That's a t-shirt. I don't know. Shaki, are we gonna have t-shirts though? He's not gonna answer me.
You should have one.
Okay.
The Malaysian.
Yes, Shaki. We should have one. T-shirts. Okay. So yeah, let's have you be introduced to everyone.
Yeah, probably you can introduce me to everyone.
Everyone, this is Adi from Sembilan Matahari, the mastermind of project Mapping from Home in Indonesia. Happened last year. We also had the two categories like we do right now. Also, you were also in collaboration with Epson, right?
Yep.
Yeah, like we are sponsored by Epson. Thank you, Epson. Absolute angels.
Thank you, Epson.
Okay. Can you can you start like telling us more about Sembilan Matahari?
Yeah. I think it's better for us to see our video first.
Sure.
I have two videos, and I'd like you to share both of them directly, so you can just play both of them. The first one is the portfolio. We can collect starting from the beginning of Sembilan Matahari until 2020 last year. And the second one is the behind the scene video of the making one of promotional video for Asian Games 2018, couple of years ago, happened in Indonesia. So I think that might interest you to and give you the description and the bigger picture of what Sembilan Matahari is. So please enjoy the video first.
Tega banget ya bokap lo. Udah tahu muka lo Cina, masih dikasih nama Cina.
Tega kali bapak kau. Udah tahu muka kau perempuan, masih dikasih nama perempuan.
Tuhan suka yang kayak apa?
Yang IP-nya di atas 3. Sesuai Komunitas 1. Kecantikan, berbanding terbalik dan kepintaran.
Ribuan orang dikejutkan dengan runtuhnya gedung Museum Fathahillah di Jakarta Kota. Anda juga membakar gedung sate di Bandung. Nah, itu apa yang Anda lakukan?
To transform historical buildings into the far side of our imagination. To create a place with a sense of belonging. A place to remind ourselves that each and every one of us has an important role towards positive change.
Pemirsa, video mapping merupakan sebuah teknik pencahayaan dan artistik yang dapat menciptakan ilusi pada objek. Melalui video mapping, nama Indonesia kembali bergema di kancah internasional.
Tim Sembilan Matahari berhasil meraih juara pertama Best Light Designer untuk kategori klasik dalam Art Vision Contest Moscow International Festival Circle of Light 2014 Oktober lalu.
Okay.
Sorry, because I'm still watching on YouTube. It's not done on my YouTube yet.
Yeah, it's me as well.
It's
I'm
still
watching on
playing for
YouTube
me.
and still playing.
As from what I've seen, when you did the projection mapping on historical buildings, that was really amazing. Because I said this in the beginning when we started streaming that, but to me, like when you give historical buildings or indigenous buildings a new life using our modern day technology, it's reintroducing it to the whole world, because some people might not know what that is, which is amazing, especially in Southeast Asia, because we have a lot of indigenous people around Southeast Asia region. So giving it a modern day technology touch is really amazing, because we need to introduce it to the world.
Exactly, Sarah.
Okay. Yeah. Educating the whole world that we have a lot of cultures. That's amazing.
Exactly.
Okay.
So a lot of sorry.
No, it's fine. You can continue.
So a lot of our projects are really inspired by the local, by the Indonesian culture, by the Nusantara, and for instance, if you just saw the Prambanan temple being mapped with the projection, it was a very challenging project at that time, the Prambanan temple, because it's such a huge temple, and such a black stones on it. So we need a very powerful projection to do the video mapping at the time. But yeah, again, thanks to Epson, especially Epson Indonesia. Probably they also watching us right now from Jakarta. And
thank you, Epson.
yeah. So it's just like what I'm presenting here in my slide, the high brightness for bright ideas. It's actually it represents the joint forces of Epson Indonesia and the Sembilan Matahari. And I think this kind of collaboration between the technology provider and the creative talents, I think we need to build the ecosystem so that people, especially young people from Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, the Southeast Asia region, they can show up our portfolios, our amazing portfolios to the whole globally. I was just like being so much amazed with the Super Bonfire portfolios, doing the Audi. It's like Audi was, wow, it's just like I'm so speechless with the treatment that Son just showed us with the presentation. I think you also, Sarah, don't you think that it was really amazing work?
Yeah, I mean all three speakers today is approaching projection mapping in three different ways, in my opinion, honestly, which is that's why projection mapping, that's why when I say it, like, it's not focused on just to make something pretty, you know, everyone is approaching it in a different way.
Yeah, have the characters. So as well as the last presentation from Ando, it was like, wow, Ando. So I think a couple of times I visited the Marina base and I saw your works. Yeah, I think so, because it's really familiar to me. So yeah, congratulations on that one. And yeah, I know who's behind the scene, who's behind the artwork. So yeah, cool. Yeah, let me continue with my slide. Yeah, here are some of our projection. Most of our work are projection mapping or video mapping. So on a huge building in Indonesia, and the left one is the Museum Fathahillah. It's located in Jakarta. This one. This is my first projection mapping ever made in Indonesia, I think. Yeah, in 2010. And then the second one is the Gedung Sate. It's located in Bandung, my city. So if you guys happen to visit Indonesia, please put Bandung on your list, and I will very happy to pick you up at the airport so that I can get you to our office and go around Bandung to. And our new office now is also located next to the Bandung's forest. So it is more nature, it is more inspiring. So I think it's really worth it for you guys to visit. Okay, let's continue with the amazing portfolio that we've done with Epson Indonesia, the Prambanan Temple video mapping. The thing, the important part of the event at the time, it was projected on 2017. The most important part is we are not only try to project the temple, but also integrate with the show performance, the theatrical performance, synchronized with all the talents and the local music. So it's kind of like such a huge project, very serious, and I think it has challenged Sembilan Matahari to the advanced level of projection mapping, because it is very complicated to be executed in the field of synchronizing the stage, which the distance between the stage and the temple is actually more than 800 meters. So it's across. So it's very challenging to synchronize the visual between what we project onto the temple and also the stage. So this one is the projection mapping that we do abroad. The first one is in Mapping Festival in Geneva, Switzerland. The Constellation Neverland, the art installation based multimedia, our first art installation, and it is now being shown to more than 5 countries abroad. And then in 2013, we realized that I think we only a couple of studio based in Indonesia who's doing the video mapping or projection mapping. So we need to get more experience to the international environment, because I think in the region we need to educate more, to invite more young people to get involved with this industry. So what we are doing at that time is try to connect with the international environment by joining the international competition such as Zushi Media Art Festival in Tokyo, Japan, and then the Art Vision contest, which held in Moscow, Russia, one of the biggest lights and multimedia festival in Europe, I think in the world as well. And then the fourth one is the Light Festival in Berlin. So what interesting is on those 3 international projection mapping competition, we just like very surprised because we won every festival as the gold award or the first winner of the festival in 2012, 2014, and then 2017. So we brought more than 3 awards back to Indonesia, international awards back to Indonesia. This one is a couple of our portfolio we are doing in Bali Island, and then Jakarta and Bandung as well. So this one is actually 200 square meters digital room, which we call it as digital incentive meeting, exhibition, and conference, or digital MICE. So you can go invite a lot of people coming in, but not now because of the pandemic. We can only accommodate for not more than 30 people right now inside the digital MICE. And you can do virtual event or virtual concert in this digital facilities, and we can help you to we can support you as well to create your presentation so that you can present your materials like what Tony Stark in Iron Man do, like doing moving around a digital environment, interactive way. So you can do like product launching, press conference, business gathering, talk show, and so on. So it's kind of quite innovative space for us to use it as a presentation space. So if you happen to visit Bandung again, I would like to invite you to come here.
Sure.
Right. This is
I will remember that the next time I go.
This was the Asian Games video promo. Yeah.
I say I will remember that with the next time I go to Bandung.
Yeah, sure. I will pick you up at the airport. You can have my word. Okay. So yeah, this was this was the Asian Games promotional video we created on 2018. That was a very challenging time for us multimedia artists, because government like to push all the probably most of young people trying to, okay, you guys need we need support from you guys, so you need to create something extraordinary, something yeah, some amazing thing to be displayed for the visual for the Asian Games. So what we do here is actually trying to connect what we can do with projection mapping and also the synchronizing of camera movement. Using the movement of the camera, we connect the perspective and we play with the perspective of the 3D animation, so that it can give us the illusion of the real athlete can do the sport inside this stage, yeah, the shooting stage. So the challenge was we need to deal with the real athletes, not actors. It's easier to use actors you know, to act in front of the green screen, but because of this is not the real actor, this is not the actors, but these were the real athletes, so they cannot acting properly in front of the green screen. So we changed the green screen concept into the what we call it now, familiar with the term of extended reality. At that time, when we execute the promotional video of the Asian Games, we basically have tried to start with the extended reality technology, but we did it like a bit different, because of the technology at the time was like not developed yet, yeah. But we can doing it as manual and synchronize it with there's so many challenging and technical glitches, but then we succeed with the results. So basically, the challenge from the projection mapping in the future is actually being very cross-discipline with the filmmaking and the production. For TV production, for TV production, and then for the filmmaking. So XR and projection mapping will give us the new set us with the new standard of how can I say that, the methodology and also the trend as well. So yeah, this is a couple of pictures of behind the scenes at that time. The synchronizing camera movement with the real-time 3D render was so challenging, but now using the Unreal Engine and also the Notch and so many other the 3D animation platform, and also the technology of the media server, we can just easily connect the whole system and then get the proper extended reality studio. Yeah, if you guys watch the Mandalorian, Star Wars, I think you will get familiar with the methodology of the shooting that using XR or extended reality. So kolaborasi, what is kolaborasi? Is the collaboration program inside the Kala Kini Nanti digital mice or digital space. Again, this is the same space that I just showed you a couple of slides previously. The 200 square meter digital space, and then during the pandemic, we need to shut down or to close for a temporary close the Kala, and then at the end of 2020 we try to reopen, but then we manage with the health protocol and other kind of innovation with the physical distancing and also the augmented reality temperature screen measurement and so on. So we need to still move forward with the space. The idea was like trying to engage another cross creators. So we are not only inviting visual artists, but also musicians, filmmakers, and even architect, interior designer, writers, everyone who has the potential to be to collaborate with us to create new things inside this digital space. So this one is actually a virtual concert for a rock band, a very famous rock band from Bandung, Burger Kill. The name of the band is Burger Kill. So we create the virtual concert and broadcast it into internet, using the internet, and it was like a very huge concert because there are more than 10,000 people joining the server to watch the concert. So yeah, Kalakini Nanti is actually the name of the digital space, the digital mice. Now we are trying to extend the experience inside Kalakini Nanti to be more open to everyone, and so that people can experience and joining the extended reality development. Pandemic has inspired us to create more innovation, and we think that in Sembilan Matahari, the space or the asset that we have, we need to revisit and then redefine and then reinvent. How can we dealing with the new reality in within this pandemic or after this pandemic? So what we do is try to move just only from the digital space into the platform, digital platform, a collaborative platform. So we redefine that actually the space that was built exclusively only for the Sembilan Matahari digital content now can be used as a cross collaboration between creators, between Sembilan Matahari and other creators, to create new experience, new thing inside this platform. So for instance, I can invite Shakir with his filament to create contents inside Kalakini Nanti, and then we can invite people to come. We do ticketing, and then we can share the revenue from the tickets. And also I can invite Machineast and also Super Bonfire to join in. So yeah, things like that. I think the pandemic
He's inviting everyone else to collab with him.
Yeah.
Unofficial
And to visit
invitation to
Bandung.
collab in Bandung.
Exactly. So that was also what inspired us to create the Mapping from Home Festival. At the beginning, it's basically simple. When the pandemic hits us, we think that, okay, a lot of projection mapping based on event industry and also the tourism industry has been canceled, has been postponed, has been, it's like, okay, there, it's like a full stop, because when we wait for, okay, the lockdown will only happen for 2 weeks and then extend and then 1 month and then second month and then the third month
Malaysia
and,
can
and so on.
relate.
Yeah. And now it's almost 1 year we are living with this pandemic. We are living within this pandemic. So at that time, the idea was like, okay, we need to put projection mapping to be more inclusive and open to everyone. And usually the projection mapping has been handled by the professional, by such a huge projectors, and difficult content and a very challenging facade object to be projected. So in Mapping from Home Festival, we reduce that. We redefine that is that the facade is not has to be always hard or challenging object, but we can also, like, just the usual facade. Probably, if you can see your dining room, your TV room, your rooms. So everyone who's stuck with the a very close environment inside their house, they can use the projection mapping to extend their imagination to break their limiting physical environment, to be more yeah, it's just like traveling without moving, you know. So that was the idea. And why we need to collaborate with Epson? Yeah, because the Epson is the only guy that have the only guy, the only brand that probably want to share their projectors to be shared, so that everyone don't have to buy at the beginning. They can just borrow, and they can execute their concept inside their houses. And it was a very successful festival. How can I measure that this one is a very successful festival? Because Sakir and Filament now, with Ainyala and being supported with Fabu and Epson Malaysia, then extend this festival to Malaysia. That was,
Yes.
yeah, I think this is the one of the point that I can share, that this festival is very success. Again, the inclusivity, the open platform, and try to move from exclusivity into more inclusive platform is because I think this pandemic, we need to push people, we need to educate more people, we need to take projection mapping more familiar, go inside to other subsectors or other players, other markets. So I think during this pandemic, we can challenge our imagination, our restriction of the, or probably the methodology of projection mapping, more innovative to deal with a lot of problem that we face with the work from home and work and the other kind of side effect from the pandemic. So the aims of the festival is basically to invite people, students, creative enthusiasts, to project their expression and hopes during stay at home. Because yeah, I think a lot of people experience the same, being locked down inside their houses. So it's another good one. But yeah, just let's get realize that only the physical things being limited, but not our imagination or our exploration or our soul. Yeah, the walls can only limit our physique, but not our perspective. We want to invite people to embrace the new normal, the new reality. I think not the new normal, because it's not normal. I think it's the new reality.
Yeah, it's a new reality.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Video mapping or projection mapping is a very adaptive and flexible media, as you know, to be compared with LED screens or TV screen. Projection display is very adaptive. You can even to the plants, plantation, or any kind of object you can find inside the house, you can easily respond. And projection mapping also offer a unique value because when we connect the visuals with the texture of the surface of the facade, it will give you different experience. So you can just try it at home. And also the thing that I need to share with you guys regarding the Mapping from Home Festival, especially what we've just been held in Bandung in Indonesia, it's also to give support and spirit to health workers and people who suffering with the situation of the pandemic. They lost their jobs. They do such a terrible thing. So we collaborate with a lot of initiative, we use our money that can the money and help and support that we can get from the sponsors and supporters, and then to be donate to people that also need the support. So it's kind of like our contribution as a creative enthusiast to others, because we know that we all in this together, facing the difficulties time, and yeah, I think it's also to give the spirit for others. These are some of our documentation during the after the festival, to help people and also to get them familiar with our creative works. So I think that will be all from me. Questions and everything is very open to be asked. And
I mean,
terima kasih. Selamat malam. And hope you. Yeah.
I mean, I was gonna say eventually, Mapping from Home, the one in Malaysia, carries the same message as the one in Indonesia as well, giving people a platform to express themselves in this pandemic. I mean, now that we're talking about Mapping from Home, can we have Shakir inside here?
Hi.
Shakir. First question, Shakir.
Sure.
Can we get a t-shirt?
Yeah. So we are basically working on that. We are working on that. So we're going to open up whoever interested to get the t-shirt. Malaysia Mapping from Home. So definitely we're going to get some for our speakers throughout this whole festival. So I think we look forward to have that, at least a token for us to enjoy or remember this festival. And hopefully we can still run this festival again maybe next year, or I don't know, maybe we can do a cross festival like a Indonesia, Malaysia kind of thing next year. Together we can do it together. So that would be nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And we can also use Kalakini Nanti as one of the facade, the
She's still
projection.
Yes. We definitely want. I mean, I personally really want to go to Bandung and really check out Bandung scene. And talking about that, I think the whole idea why we would like to have this conversation at the first place, I think for all of the speakers, Syazwan, Ando, and Fizah, you can actually share on your camera and open your mic.
Everyone,
we can have
come back
in. So the whole idea when we did this conversation, because we wanted to know, what else happened around the region, because I think before the pandemic we can actually go around. I did actually went to Singapore a few times to check out Fizah and the works, and I went to Jakarta also. I think we met. We didn't met at Wave of Tomorrow, but I saw your work at Sembilan Matahari work in tomorrow. Wave Tomorrow, but I mean, me having that opportunity to go around and see all these things happening around the world, even around our region, it's really interesting to see. And I would like to actually bring that into this platform. So it's great to see, work from Super Bonfire that happened in China, and then see stuff that Ando and Fizah did in Singapore, and stuff that you did in Indonesia, and all around the world, even in Berlin and in Europe. So it basically encompasses where the stuff that we do, sometimes it's not necessarily that stuff we can do only at home or in our room, and also project it or put it outside. And again, I wanted to stress stuff that Ando was saying just now. The satisfaction that you see your work on the building is totally different thing, right? Because I think all of us is designer, and the way how we started is we design stuff on screen, apart from doing sketching and stuff. So to see our stuff or our design or animation go out from the screen and being projected or played on the LED screen, this big pixel LED screen, is really, really amazing to see. And I think that's the main reason why I personally do this. So it's great to see, you know, we all can actually gather around here and share this out, you know, talk about it. I think we sort of already like past our time. We're supposed to actually finish around 9:30. But I guess maybe we can have one round question. If any one of you guys want to ask anyone, like maybe Syazwan, you want to ask Ando, Fizah, or you know Adi, want to ask any of these guys, you know, we have this opportunity to, you know, talk to each other. Why not we do it now then? Yeah, feel free to ask anything.
Adi's gonna ask everyone if everyone wants to collab again.
I think one of our members in Super Bonfire already. I think you're familiar with Chukri Yunus, Ando, and
yeah. We know
right.
them.
Yeah. So I think it's kind of good opportunity for us on our side to know you guys and have the connection. Maybe if in future we can collaborate or sharing some knowledge, because we need this kind of a platform, this kind of opportunity for us to attract more youngsters, more people to our industry to help us create amazing stuff in the future.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, I think we had a talk with Super Bonfire. It's been a while. I mean, we know some people there, you know, so we they are our friends too, you know. So yeah, whenever there's possibility, you know, just hit us up, you know. And also with, you know, who knows, with Sembilan Matahari next time.
Yeah, because at the airport.
Because Bandung is
yeah. Ando,
Okay.
you are from Indonesia, right, Ando?
Yeah, I'm Indonesian as well, but we live here in Malaysia, yeah. And,
Okay.
Yeah. I'm from
Halo,
Pekanbaru.
apa kabar?
Baik.
Pekanbaru.
Yeah.
I do have a question since we're talking about collaboration stuff, right?
Yeah.
Is there for everyone speakers, including Shaki, if you want to answer, I wonder if you have like any brand or a group or community that you would love to collab in the future, and maybe their aesthetic fits your design aesthetic. Like, is there any brands or community or even government bureau that you want to collab with in the future that you would love to collab with? Brands, for example, Mata Ushake, I want to work with like BMW in the future, you know, who knows?
Well, I think we personally in Filament, we always open for any collaboration, and the whole idea why we started Filament in the first place is to see how we can actually provide a platform for any artist, like not even artists, just anyone who want to try something new. Exactly what Super Bonfire did in their setting. So their setting is more of a corporate setting, you know, like working with brands and so on. But on our side, Filament focuses more on how we can actually provide it for an art festival or light festival per se. So if you ask me who I would want to actually collaborate with, probably I think right now what we want to do really actually to sort of bring local artists or local content or local projection project into international competition or international festival, like what exactly Adi did in Berlin and in, you know, all part of the world. So we have a lot of other light festival around the world. Like we have a light festival in Japan, light festival in Hong Kong, even in Australia and so on. So to have our artists or our content being presented there, I think that's an achievement. And not only just bring our content, it's also bringing our culture and our story or narrative. I think that's the most important thing about you know, growing up in this region, especially, you know, we all within this, and the work that we bring always go back to our roots. And I think that's the only way how we can actually differentiate ourselves with, you know, designer from Europe per se, right? You know, that's how we can actually differentiate and see the stuff that Adi did. It's really interesting to see how we can bring, you know, like songket or batik, you know, and show it to other people. You know, like I saw stuff from Machineast. You guys did the latest Singapore Art Week
Inspired.
visual, right? It was
On
Phuket
New
one,
Week
right?
Festival. Yeah, we did that for National Museum, right?
Yeah.
There's so many museums. Like, oh my
So many
God.
museums in Singapore.
Don't
But,
do
but yeah, there was you did that for yourself, right?
Yeah, that was for Chan and Hori. Actually, right, the for that project, I used the scans of Gunung Santubong as the backdrop, you know, like the terrain. And then
Yeah,
it's like,
Nice.
yeah, because I'm from East Malaysia, I'm from Sabah and Sarawak. So it's like I wanted to have that into the artwork. So it's more like a personal project. As you grow older, you want to go back to your roots, like you try to
Sure.
find your roots. I don't know. I think it's like for me because I've been living overseas for quite some time. So sometimes I have this question where are you still a Borneo? Like for me, it's like, am I still from Borneo or
Borneo.
am I like Singaporean or or how or I'm from KL or what? So it's like maybe for you guys like who Super Bonfire, like you work in China or whatever, you kind of
Lose that
try
kind of
to
thing.
blend in and then but you also still have your identity, so like, it's a mix of like a mixture of everything. And then like my husband is Indonesian but he's been living in Malaysia and like Singapore for quite some time, so yeah. So he's really,
It's a mix of
so,
a lot of
so
things.
sometimes we just say like we are Southeast Asian, like we represent Southeast Asia, which is easier that way,
Yeah.
Interesting.
True.
Interesting.
Yeah, again, I think that's the whole reason, that's the whole idea. And to see how each one, again, like what Sarah really, perfectly said just now, to see each one of your work is really interesting to see how you can actually use projection mapping in different ways. Projection mapping, again, is just a tool.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
basically
Yeah, it's a tool.
when we did our sharing session and stuff, we always said it is the first thing, even like my partner Faris said, just a tool. So it's the same way how you use your pencil and your paper. So this one you just use projector and your content, your visual content. And to see Super Bonfire do it for corporate project, which is really, really great, and working it with all these kinetic balls and installations and lasers and everything, and move to a more artistic approach, like what Fizah and Ando did in Singapore mostly. You guys work with a lot of museums and galleries and everything. It's really, really interesting to see. It not only for corporates, because that's, I think, a lot of people have this mindset about projection mapping. It's always about how you can actually celebrate New Year with projection mapping, or launch a product with a projection mapping. At the same time, you forgot that it's just a tool where you can also do an art project for it. That's the whole idea. Also, why we created Mapping from Home, to still keep people excited in creating things. Just create something. And to have Adi to come in and talk about how you started Mapping from Home in the first place. I mean, I didn't know about Mapping from Home that much, because the only interaction that I had with you, Adi, is when you invited me to give like a sharing session, right, during Mapping from Home Indonesia last year. So that was really, really insightful, and to be able to meet all of us, other practitioner around the world during that time. We have like people from Canada, artists from Canada, and also most of them from Indonesia. It's really, really great. And yeah, it's I just hope that we can actually meet actually, like just really meet and mingle around, have the conversation and talk. Like normally in Malaysia we have like teh tarik and mamak session and stuff. Right? If you come to KL, I think Adi, you also miss Malaysia. You came Malaysia a lot of time, right, Adi?
Yeah, sure. I'd like to try, not only the Indonesian culinary, but also the Malaysian culinary. It's times very difficult to us to have our tongue different taste, because we cannot move around even the Asia region. Usually, previously, we can easily go from Bandung to Kuala Lumpur and have a lunch at Kuala Lumpur and then have a dinner in Singapore and so on.
Wow.
But now it's just like
lockdown. That is an exaggeration.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, but I
You
think
can't do that.
it's great that we have this platform. At least, when you started, having it in Indonesia, maybe more Indonesia, I felt really touched, and I felt really moved with the whole idea. And I think I want to actually continue it, and that's why I do this. And hopefully, it's just a starting point where we can actually do an actual event. So maybe we can have mapping promo, or even just a mapping festival around the region, like Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore.
Exactly. The idea is to create platform for us, the ecosystem for us, because in 2012, 2013, I was like feel very lonely in Asia, because who else doing this kind of projection mapping? When we joined with the projection mapping competition in Japan, I think we are the only team coming from the Southeast Asia. And then when we joined with the art vision contest in Moscow and also in Berlin, we rarely to find any other Asian player who's doing the projection mapping. So that's why the mapping from home platform, I think, thank you, Shakir, for you to organize mapping from home in Malaysia, because I think now it's become more bigger, so we can also connect with the Singaporean ecosystem. And so that's why tonight I'm very happy to find there's Super Bonfire and Machineast, Filament, and any other kind of studio. I think we are in the same frequency, like it's happy to have the same interest, the same passion with you guys all. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's great that mapping from home in Indonesia or Malaysia is happening, because like I think since the whole COVID virus started, a lot of artists feels very displaced, because for example, artists who does a lot of art installation like Filament, me myself, we had projects before COVID started. So when COVID starts, it's like, oh, your project's gone, because why? COVID. Can't really travel, can't really do anything. So a lot of artists feels very displaced when COVID started. So mapping from home is good, because it's giving platform to everyone, who even for people who's never tried projection mapping, you can even just send your visuals in and still do something during this tough time. I think I would like to wrap up, actually. We've been dragging this for so long. Thank you, everyone, for sharing your amazing works, for even spending time to share things with our participants who's watching right now, with general audience right now who's watching. Thank you, Syazwan. Thank you, Adi. Thank you, Fizah. Thank you, Ando. Thank you, Shakir, even. I wish Shakir can have his own sharing session, so he can show that he projected on a tree in Sarawak. That was amazing for me. Actually, Shakir projected on a tree was the first time for me to see someone projected on a tree. Okay, that was amazing. Yeah. So thank you, everyone who's watching, who's still watching right now. Have a great weekend. Everyone also have a great weekend. And we'll see you during our final, right, Shakir?
Yes.
Like when we announce our winners. Good luck to every participants. I guess can the participants reach out to you guys to ask questions?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I think you can contact all the speakers through their social media. Definitely, I think they
follow them.
Share.
Yeah, you gain more experience when you follow more people. You're not very white.
We're not scary people.
Yeah, they don't eat people. So if participants wants to ask question, maybe I don't know, asking more about their portfolios and stuff, you can reach out to all these speakers available. So yeah, thank you again for everyone for watching. Have a great night and weekend. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Selamat malam.
Selamat malam.
Selamat malam. Selamat malam, everyone. Okay.
Terima